This is a new game called Clash Quest that Supercell released just 2 days ago in Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden and Iceland. And so since most of you guys don't have access to it yet, I figured we'd take it for a spin today to talk about what I like and what I dislike about this game and see what is up with this latest addition to the Clash franchise. But even if you haven't played any other Supercell games before, I think you're gonna find this video very interesting because here's what happens. Every time Supercell releases a new game, there's hundreds of other developers just instantly cloning that core gameplay loop. So there's a good chance that we'll see lots of variations of this game and this gameplay over the next year or two on mobile. So let's dive in and see exactly what it is Supercell has come up with here. I gotta say, when we first boot up this game, it does feel like a mix between Clash Royale and the Candy Crush game. I mean, just look at this level progression screen here. This seems taken straight out of a Candy Crush game. But of course, in true Clash Royale style, we've got all of our heroes over here that we can level up when we collect enough of them. And we've got most of the usual suspects here as well. Most of the all-time favorites, like the Archer, the Barbarian, the Wizard, for example, and quite a few others, as you can see down here, that we just haven't unlocked yet. Like, for example, the Baby Dragon. They all work pretty much like in Clash Royale as well, so that means that the Wizard, this guy here, he can deal damage to a large area of enemies, whereas, for example, the Prince down here is just a single target hero. But let's just jump into a level and you guys can see for yourselves how this game actually plays. And one thing you'll notice is that Clash Quest is a single player game, unlike almost all other Supercell games. I mean, just think about it. Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and Brawl Stars, these are some of the biggest games from Supercell, and they're all multiplayer games. So I'm not entirely sure why they want to experiment with single player games now, but I guess it makes sense that they want to try to increase their player base, and of course not everyone enjoys PvP games. But anyway, the actual core gameplay in this game works a bit like an RPG match 3 game, in the sense that we have our grid of heroes here, and we can trigger an attack on the opponents by tapping any of those heroes. Now, if more heroes connect, like for example our two princes here, they will attack at the same time, and of course, as we talked about before, each of these heroes have different mechanics. So the wizards can deal an area of damage, whereas for example the barbarians will always attack the nearest enemy, and the prince will just run straight ahead, even if you run straight into a wall, so you do have to be a bit careful when to use that one. As you might already have noticed, by the way, each of these levels consist of 3 stages, and we completed the first one. This is the second one, and up here, if I scroll up, you can see the third one waiting up there. And whenever we complete a level, even if we just complete 1 or 2 of these waves, we will get some stars, and we will instantly get some extra hero cards as well. Unlike most Supercell games where we have some sort of wait time or loot box, or for example like in Brawl Stars where you have to get some keys, and then when you have enough, a chest will open instantly, but there's typically something that you have to wait for. So that's really nice in this game, that we don't have any of that type of waiting systems or loot box mechanics. Unfortunately though, we don't really have enough gold to upgrade all of our heroes, and that is of course where the monetization system comes in, because of course there is a shop in this game where we can buy premium currency, and we can spend that premium currency on getting more gold, that we can then of course use to upgrade our heroes. And this is the shop over here. Oh, we can get some free gold, let's just get that. But down here of course we do have the usual Supercell in-app purchases going up to $100 US, and yes, we can indeed spend that on getting more gold. And as you can see over here, we can level up the Fireball, the Prince and the Barbarian, and we do have enough gold to level up one of them, so I chose the Barbarian here. But now, as you can see, we cannot level up the Prince, but that's okay. It just means that we have to grind a bit more. If you played any Supercell games, I guess you've probably gotten used to that at this point anyway. You can play them as a free player, you can absolutely enjoy them, but you will be at a disadvantage in the sense that you do have to spend some more time grinding if you're a free player. It is a bit strange that we don't have enough gold already this early into the game though, and I don't know what that says about what we can expect from the rest of the game, but hopefully it will just stay at this level and we just have to grind a little bit, but we will be able to upgrade our heroes. It would very much suck if this game turns into a game with lots of paywalls down the line, but of course only time can tell about that. But the thing most of you are probably gonna dislike the most about this game isn't even the fact that we don't have enough gold, but rather that there's an energy system in this game. So whenever we enter a level, we'll spend 1 energy, of which we only have 12 in total, and each energy takes an entire hour to replenish. Unless, of course, we pay to just instantly get more of it. So I'm personally not a huge fan of that. I don't like energy systems, and I think it's gonna disappoint quite a few Supercell fans as well, that they can only play for 10, maybe 15 minutes at a time. But if you can live with that though, the core gameplay in this game, I gotta say, is surprisingly solid. It's fun to strategize which heroes to use when, and figure out, for example, when to use our spells as well. Like right now, it might be beneficial to start using it because it can hit lots of targets, so you definitely want to use your spells very early in the game where there's still lots of targets that they can deal damage to. So stuff like that makes me feel that Supercell is doing something right with this game despite the energy system. The game could really use a guild system though. I know it's a single player game, but that's part of what I really enjoyed about Clash Royale and the other Supercell games, the social interaction layer. So hopefully that will be added as this game continues development, and we do have to remember as well that this game is just in a beta release right now, so what you're seeing is very much sort of like an early access version of what the game will eventually turn into. I do imagine, you know, Supercell is good at updating their games, so we'll probably see lots more content added to this game if they do decide to go forward with it and don't kill the game. Now, that's another thing to keep in mind. Supercell has killed quite a few games over time, so don't get your hopes up too high. You may never be able to play this game, but I'm enjoying it so far, and that probably means that other people are as well, and so there is a decent chance that the game will end up getting greenlit and will globally release at some point. Another thing I wanted to mention that I really enjoy about this game, and I'll show you if we go into the next level here, is that we can hold down our finger to speed up combat. So this might seem like such a small thing, but it's actually super convenient, and especially when we trigger large groups of heroes at once. So let's see if we can actually do that. We'll just trigger this one to get 3 archers at the same time, and keep close eye on the screen now. I'm gonna tap the archers, and then I'm gonna hold down to speed up time, and you'll be able to see that in the top left corner of the screen. Are you ready? Okay, so here we go, and I hold down. There you go. It sped up, and it went very fast. Now, again, with only 2 or 3 combos, that doesn't really matter, but if you have a combo of, say, 5, 6, or maybe even 7 heroes at the same time, that is actually very convenient. And it's this level of attention to detail that makes me think that this game will eventually find a, you know, decently large player base and following, actually. Although it won't be the next big Supercell multiplayer hit game that some were, of course, hoping for. I think most of us were, in fact, hoping for that. Now, if I had to criticize something about the gameplay, it is that we don't get to choose exactly which opponent we want to attack. And what I mean by that is that, yes, we know that these heroes have different attack patterns, and one thing I didn't show you yet is that we can even hold down our heroes to see where they're gonna attack, so that is nice, but we can't choose, for example, that these wizards should attack on the right side instead. For example, the 2 crossbows over there on the right side, we have no way to tell our heroes that they should attack those instead. So that is something about the game that I guess some might not like, but on the other hand, though, it is part of what makes it fun to strategize in this game, because you're limited. You don't have all the options. You have to make some tough choices every once in a while, and I guess for some that might add to the gameplay experience. For others, though, it just might frustrate the heck out of you. So to conclude, if you don't mind the limited PlayStation length caused by the energy system, there's a good chance you'll really end up enjoying this game. But do let me know what you think about the game in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree with my views and opinions on this game? Maybe you have already played it. I know there's an APK out there somewhere on Android. Just be careful from where you download it if you have an Android device. So let me know what you think about the game down below. I'll be looking forward to reading what you had to say, and then until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around. So to conclude, if you don't mind the limited PlayStation session what? So to conclude, if you don't mind the limited PlayStation length caused by this energy system, there's a good chance that you'll really end up, wow.